their one-day teams. Bangladesh A take on New Zealand A in a few minutes at the Sylhet International Cricket Stadium. This is the first of 3 one-day matches.
Swan, you're going to spin the coin, please. Heads is the call.
And it's hit.
It's a head. Nick, what have you decided and why?
We decided to have a bet.
New Zealand, they have won the toss and they have decided to bat first.
This is how the 11 looks like of Bangladesh and New Zealand. Nurul Hassan, the skipper, Anamul Haq Bijoy, Ibadat Hussain, Mahidul Islam Ankun, Musaddiq Hussain Shoykot, Naeem Sheikh, Parvez Hussain Imon, Shamim Hussain, Shoriful Islam, Sayyid Khalid Ahmed, and Tanveer Islam. The players are making their way to the middle, and we're hoping for a humdinger of a contest between these two sides. And as we already know that
As the two openers, Rice Mariu and Dale Phillips, they're making their way out into the middle. The clock striking 9 a.m. It's time for the match to begin. A good start by Shoriful on the money.
right here's the
Outside edge! But unfortunate for the bowler. Goes between the first slip and keeper for the first boundary.
very, very unlucky is Mr. Shoriful Islam. It took the outside edge and just went through the gap between the first sleep and the keeper. And Rice can deem himself very, very fortunate. Just have a look. He was playing away from his body. And once again,
Ooh, this looks closer. And the finger goes up. This time, Shoriful gets his wicket, gets his man. Phillips has to walk. He was coming down the track just a bit to deal with that swing. On this occasion, he missed it. And the umpire needed no second invitation to raise his finger and say that you are out. Tanveer Ahmed making that decision.
the first blood has been drawn. It's Shoriful Islam who strikes really quick and removes Dale Phillips from the equation. On the line, bit of movement and beats the bat to hit the pads. Easy decision for Tanveer Ahmed. The experienced campaigner raises his credit finger and Shoriful celebrates the first wicket for Bangladesh, and certainly from the get-go they are in the driving seat.
Ooh, now the finger once again goes up. And that's the second wicket. Another batter out LBW. And this time Boyle has to depart. Khalid has his wicket. New Zealand A 2 down.
Absolutely a peach of a delivery from Khalid Ahmed. Pitching in line and then shaping back in. Almost the replay what Shoriful did during his wicket. And Matt Boyle has to depart. Just have a look how beautifully he swung the ball. And there was a big gap between the bat and pad as well. So that's wicket number 2 for Bangladesh. And they are completely dominating in this point in time in this game.
Oh, another one, and this time it's another duck. Abbas has to go without troubling the scorers. Khalid getting 2 wickets in the over.
Wow, what a delivery. What a magnificent delivery from Khalid Ahmed. Back of a length and then some extra bounce and movement. Completely beats the batter. Just have a look. He had no clue whatsoever what the ball was doing. Beautiful. Absolutely wonderful from Khalid Ahmed as he gets his second wicket. And New Zealand, they are under the pump now. It's 6 for 3.
Yeah, Abbas will be disappointed with that. But an excellent delivery goes without troubling the scorers. Gorgeous. Beautifully played. Rice Mariu. Will it go all the way? Yes, it does. Deserved a boundary. The diving effort going in vain. That's the second boundary of the New Zealand A innings. And the second one of the bat of Rice.
The much needed one for New Zealand. They were striving for a boundary and a beautiful cover drive from Rice Mariu as well. Sweetly penetrated the offside field. And there was a long chase for Shamim as well. And I reckon he made an early dive. Should have dived later. That
Oh, how about that? The appeal, big appeal. Ghazi Sohail unmoved. Kelly, on this occasion, he survives. Almost the entire team surrounding him. The umpire just having a word with the bowler as he finishes his over. After 6, it's 11 for 3 for New Zealand A.
once again beauty from Khalid. And they were literally
Clean bowled! All ends up. The captain has to depart. Shoriful with an absolute beauty.
once again. It's a beautiful delivery from Shoriful Islam. The last one was swinging away from the left-hander. This one comes back in and castles him up. The off stump went cartwheeling and he celebrates. And that's such a pleasant sight for any fast bowler to see the stump flying over.
Left arm fast bowler. Shoriful. Khaled with 2 and now Shoriful with 2 wickets as well.
So that's the fall of the fourth wicket. It's 13 for 4 New Zealand A. Beautiful delivery. Just took the outside edge. There was an opportunity of catch, but it was a difficult one. Has been put down.
Creating those opportunities has been the key so far from the Bangladesh innings with the ball. Full toss, flick that away, will get a boundary. A rare bad delivery by Shoriful and put that away nicely by Clarkson.
Rightly. A low full toss from Shoriful and Clarkson takes the full toll of it. He just puts it away and gets his first boundary. Moves on to 6. Easy pickings for someone like him, and the fine leg fielder was in a finer position, so it wasn't with Rice Mariu. Tanvir comes back once again. The keeper makes a bit of mistake, and that will run away for a boundary. 4 byes. Not a bright start in this over for Tanvir.
Missed the wicket keeper as well. Batter anticipated to turn that one, but it kept a bit low as well. Undone the wicket keeper. The bowler won't mind though, Alif. Going for the reverse, plays that fine, will find the boundary again. This time from the bat of Mariu. A welcome boundary for New Zealand A.
Once again, a boundary, and Tanvir gives away 8 runs. Although it's a 4, this will be counted as his conceded runs. Not from the meatiest part of the below. However, he gets once again sweeps it and finds another one. It was away from the deep, short fine leg fielder. Beg your pardon. And 3 boundaries on the trot. Tanvir will be under the pump.
Mariu decided to take on the spinner, Tanvir Islam. And this time preferring the onside region. There was a bit of risk as there was a fielder at short fine leg. Nicely played. Finds the gap and gets the boundary. A great start to the over by Mariu. He's gaining in confidence now.
A picture perfect square drive from Mariu. It was full and straight from Ibadat, and Mariu just drives it away for a boundary. Delightful. Through the gap, no chance for any fielder. And that over from Tanvir was the turning point in my opinion.
Drifting down the leg side, flicking that away. Fielder at deep square leg. Can't stop that one. Will get a boundary, Mariu. A valiant effort by the fielder at deep square leg. Second boundary of the over.
It was on the pads. He just clips it away. The fielder had a despairing dive, but it went in vain.
Drifting down the leg side. Is that a catch? Fielder seems so, but umpire, he also thinks it's a wicket for Ibadat Hussain. Not the best of deliveries. Perhaps getting a glove on that one. But Bangladesh will take it.
For raising the finger, and eventually the credit finger went up as Bangladesh celebrate their fifth wicket. And New Zealand are losing wickets in regular intervals. It was leg side-ish, perhaps of the gloves, I reckon. Not sure. The batter knew it, and as soon as the umpire raised his finger, Clarkson departs for 7. Once again, it's a beauty. They're appealing for it. They look confident. Shuhan still appealing, but no response from Tanvir Ahmed.
Tanvir thinks so, but umpire Tanvir doesn't think so. The immediate reaction of Nurul Hasan Chauhan suggested there was some bat on it. But the batter stood his ground, so does the umpire. Played that fine, nicely swept, and will get the boundary. Mariu is someone who's holding the key for New Zealand A and is often finding those boundaries pretty comfortably to turn. That's what I was saying. As Mariu finally lost his cool coming down the track and got stumped, a brilliant delivery by Tanvir Islam to undone the danger man Mariu.
Almost listen to you. They talk about commentators' curse. On this occasion, commentators' blessing for the bowler Tanvir getting his first wicket. New Zealand A losing their 6th, and it's a big wicket. He was the set player. We were talking about how well he played, but look at that beautiful guile. And Nurul Hasan will gobble them up and hit the stumps with ease all day, every day. Looked set, but he's gone for 42 after 51 deliveries. New Zealand.
Oh, was that a catch? The reaction says so. Fielder still not sure, but did that carry, Shanu?
Probably just dropped in front. Yes, exactly. Mahidul Islam Onkon, the fielder there. We know he's handy behind the stumps.
Then a lot slower delivery and the finger goes up. That looked tight to me, Shanur.
With the ball turning away and pitching on perhaps off stump, Mitch might consider himself slightly unlucky. Let's have a look. Umpire Tanvir Ahmed agreeing to the appeal. In the end, the umpire's decision is the final word, the final verdict. Yeah, he's a bit surprised as well.
Ho ho! He's gone. Clark goes, the first delivery that he faced, a gem of a delivery by Tanvir. Just turning away from the right-hander and hitting on top of off stump. Another wicket falls for New Zealand A.
And look at that, just grazing the top of off. Sohan, he was appealing and then he saw the off bail falling down to his chagrin, and
Short ball, pull that away. And will find the boundary. Boundary after a while for New Zealand A.
good looking shot. Foxcroft dealing with the bounce, finding the gap.
Another very good looking shot by Foxcroft. This time on the offside. Back-to-back boundaries.
First on the leg side, now on the offside. Foxcroft finding the gaps and outfoxing the bowler on both occasions. This time a really good looking shot. Not trying to hit it too hard, just letting the pace do the work.
Going for the reverse. And will get the boundary over the fielder's head at short third. A welcome boundary for New Zealand as Lennox gets off the mark.
Left arm spinner versus left arm spinner. And the batter taking on his bowling counterpart. Often is the case. And a lovely looking reverse sweep.
Coming down the track, plays that straight over the bowler's head for a boundary. That's a good looking shot by Lennox.
Yeah, that batting average is certainly not telling the full story here. He can bat. The way he came down the track, held his balance, we'll see once again, and then just placed it straight through the bowler's head line.
Is that an edge? Yeah, given. A great comeback by Khalid Ahmed after being hit by a boundary. He gets his man.
Top comeback by the bowler. The previous delivery, the batter showed some aggression. Khalid immediately responded, and that was the first boundary he was hit for in this match. It was a bumper, and Lennox, he couldn't help himself. As is the case with these lower order players, when they see these sort of loose deliveries, they go for it. Unfortunately for him, it got the top edge. He's gone for 9.
Slower delivery. Plays that nicely. Mid-on was inside the circle and he cleared that quite comfortably.
Brilliant shot. And you can see he's trying his variations, this Khalid Ahmed. Still no short delivery. Bowling it fuller and slower. Perhaps trying to beat the batter with a change of pace. It didn't work on this occasion. Not really a strength of Khalid's.
Nicely played. Picked that away. Goes all the way for maximum. First 6 of the innings came off the bat of Foxcroft.
Coming down the track, the outside edge is induced and it goes to the gap. Foxcroft getting a bit of luck his way as well. It's another boundary for him.
Once again, movement from Khalid, but this time around it was moving away from the right-hander. Dean Foxcroft used his feet, came down the pitch. It was well away from his body. Nonetheless, he induced an outside edge, but the fielder from deep third was in a squarish position. As a result,
Now that made a good sound off the bat and will race away for another boundary. Dean Foxcroft keeps the New Zealand A wagon wheel and run wheel chugging along. Moves on to 37 from 39. He's playing a wonderful innings here.
back-to-back boundaries. Just beats mid-on this occasion. The tall guy Ibad Hossain Khan created.
Cut away beautifully. Wonderfully done. It's gone all the way for a maximum. Dean Foxcroft. Look at that, using the pace and the extra bounce. Guiding it towards deep third. Juicy full toss. Dealt with. Takes the single, looks for the second. And gets to it. Gets his half century. Dean Foxcroft take a bow.
A well-made 50. It came off a very crucial situation. Cuts that away nicely. Finds the gap. Will get the boundary. Foxcroft now holds the key for New Zealand, and they are now inching towards somewhere near maybe 150, Shanu.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to be much more pleased with the score that they eventually manage. And who knows, on this sort of a surface score, who knows?
Goes for that big one. Clears the long on boundary quite comfortably. Foxcroft decided to take on Tanvir Islam, and these are crucial runs for New Zealand A.
Moves on to 60 from 55. He got to the pitch of the ball and just muscled it. We spoke about his power. You said earlier that in his domestic T20 tournament, he was the player of the tournament.
What a shot! Came right from the meaty part of the bat onto the green bank stand. What a shot!
You had the policeman taking cover underneath the tree, and yeah, pure muscle, brute force there by Foxcroft. And as a captain, you must be wondering, how do I break this partnership? And an other issue for
Goes for that pull again. This time finds that outside edge as Bangladesh wrap things up, bundling out New Zealand A for 147. And the man on screen does really well to get New Zealand to get that target total of 146, and Bangladesh will be chasing the target of 147 behind the stump as well as leading the troop, and that's the final wicket of Foxcroft. Tried to pull that one, came big on him, came a lot quicker and got that extra bit of bounce and getting that outside edge. A bit of appreciation as well. Good gesture from Khalid Ibadat Hussain, beg your pardon.
And New Zealand's batting card was gloomy up front. Apart from Rice Mario, Dale Phillips, Matt Boyle, Mohammad Abbas, Nick Kelly, all going for ducks. He's good to go for the rest of the series. Ibadat Hussain, 7.3 overs, also 2 wickets. And Tanvir Islam. So Bangladesh A will need 148 from 50 overs. New Zealand A. Bangladesh will need 148 runs from 300 deliveries. They've got 10 wickets in hand. Bangladesh A.
So the umpires, they're making their way to the middle. Qazi Sohail and Tanvir Ahmed had a busy day since so many wickets fell in quick succession. Naim was exquisite, as well as Pervez Imon performed brilliantly for the champion side, Abahoni Limited.
Yeah, good to see the New Zealand A team getting their spirits up. They finished on a bit of a high using his height advantage, but that is the batting figures of Mohammad Naim.
Thank you.
2 left-handers opening, and Parvez Hussain Imon another one as he gets ready for the first ball of the second innings. Played nicely into the gap at deep third as Naim gets off the mark. Wafted onto the offside, and that'll be the first 4 off the bat of Parvez Imon.
Just crunches it through the offside and gets the first boundary for this Bangladesh A innings.
Watch the ball closely. Yes, there are 2 fielders on that offside. Beautiful. Glorious. The best of Imon right there in that shot.
One of the best things in cricket, seeing a left-hander play a delightful cover drive. What about that? Just look at that. He held his position for a while. There was a big gap through cover, and look how beautifully he exploited that.
Again, driven, and will get back-to-back boundaries. A hat-trick of boundaries in this over. Bangladesh A off to a flyer, 13 without loss.
So this is what transpired in the last delivery of the first over. He went in the line, but Imon was onto it just past mid-off and played it straight enough to beat Kelly on that occasion.
A bit of improvisation there. In the end, wanted to play it, scoop it over the wicket-keeper's head, managing to just get it towards deep third. But you can see a few dot balls brings... Driven beautifully. Fantabulous shot from Imon. Great comeback. ends the over with another boundary.
Trying to complement each other. This was the last boundary that Pervez and Imon hit straight down the ground.
Again, finds the gap. That long on region. He's really favoring it. Imon getting another boundary. Moves on to 20. With those back of length deliveries, and as we can see, showing the maker's name after playing that shot, holding the pose. Played over the top. Just pure timing. One bounce, it reaches to the fence. Another glorious shot by Imon.
A delightful lofted on drive. Just look at that, how beautifully he executed. One bounce over the rope. And from the get-go,
Fielder. Again, this time straight to the hands of the fielder at deep square leg. Clark has the final laugh as Imon's swashbuckling innings comes to an end and Bangladesh A lose their first wicket.
the trap was set. The ball swung back in. Imon played with the swing. Loft set, but only finding the fielder at deep backward square. He plays this shot so often, but this time around it's been snaffled from the edge of the boundary. And New Zealand A draw their first blood and sends back Pervez Hussain Imon, the batter who was in some form. Keep the pressure on. Oh, great shot! Once again shortened by outside the off stump. And Naim Sheikh says thank you very much.
Yeah, this is proving to be expensive here, and Naim Sheikh with his first boundary. We saw the big shots from Imon all along before he got dismissed, and now Naim continuing in that same vein. It was there to be hit though. There was width, and yes, the fielder Mohammad Abbas fielding at coming down the track, playing it over the top. Gets enough timing on it. Will race to the fence. Second four in the over for Naim.
Not from the meaty part of the willow. However, gets enough bat to clear mid on. Does Naim Sheikh. Got the toe part, but it had enough wings to fly over the fielder and then run all the way for the second boundary of this over.
He batted beautifully. Driven. Enamul gets in on the act. Gets his first boundary through the covers.
This was picture perfect. And what a way to get off the mark for the experienced campaigner Enamul Haq Bijoy. A delightful cover drive and pierces the offside field with ease.
Slower ball, and once again it's driven, and it's another boundary. Back to back, almost a carbon copy of the first shot.
Wow. Once again a beautiful shot from Enamul Haq Bijoy. Beats the fielder on this occasion. He dived for it, but it was quick enough to
Coming down the track, playing it over the top. Gets enough timing on it.
from New Zealand. And he was also a part of the Bangladesh national side as the that's tickled fine. There's a fielder, but it will be no. Great piece of work. Great commitment shown by the fielder to stop the boundary and certainly has saved a couple of runs.
Abbas to continue. Full toss on the pads. Easy pickings by Enamul, and he will get a boundary. Not the best of delivery to start off.
It was a gift for someone like Enamul Haq Bijoy and he accepts it gleefully. A low full toss and that's been dealt with for a boundary. Moves on to 34. Not enough pace as well to intimidate the batter. He just times it beautifully and gets through the gap.
Short ball down the leg side. Maidul Onkon says thank you very much. Easy pickings for him. We'll get another boundary here. Second boundary of the over.
This is an expensive over. Not a good delivery at all. Short, down the leg, and that's been dealt by Onko nicely. He goes after the bowler. That's flying a long way for 6. A lovely shot to complete the over. And this spoils it all. This could be a maiden over. But Onkon hits a 6 down the ground.
As I mentioned earlier, the bowler was trying to give that loop and flight to the batter, asking him to play that shot, and the batter obliged it. Foxcroft to continue. Enamul Haq Bijoy goes for that slog sweep. Top edge fielder at fine leg completes a good catch in the end. And Foxcroft strikes for New Zealand A. And he picked up the big wicket of Enamul.
The much needed breakthrough for New Zealand A. They were literally striving for the wicket. And they've got the big fish, Enamul Haq Bijoy, who was going in great guns. Attempted to play a slog sweep, induced a top edge which went straight up, and the fielder completed a brilliant catch to send back the set batter. It ballooned up straight in the sky, and Clark was the fielder who took a good catch. Enamul departs scoring 38. Bangladesh A at 3 down.
The shower and all. It helps you. Huge shout was probably moving down the leg side. A bit too animated this time, Lennox. End of the over. 108 for 3.
That's 6.
Love that, lads. Love that, lads. Few dotties, eh? Love that, Foxy. What a cop out, lads. Love that, lads. Few dotties, eh? Few dotties.
Aggression from Noor Hassan Chauhan, and it went all the way for maximum. He took on the fielder deep mid wicket. He knew there was a fielder there,
Boily, lads.
but with the spin he just went for it. Great execution in the end by the skipper.
What can be the ploy? Once again, he pulls it. There is a fielder. And he does really well to stop the boundary. Certainly has saved 2 runs
Listen, Boily.
for his side.
Listen, lads.
He's a busy cricketer, Noor Hassan Chauhan.
8.
Likes to move his feet quite often. He's developed that strategy from his childhood.
It's match. Once again coming down the track. Bisects the 2 fielders. Lands safely. Didn't really middle it there, Onkon, but we'll get a couple nonetheless.
Onkon has been struggling from the word go. Even when he hit the 6, that wasn't even from the meatiest part of the willow. Got the edge of the bat in these conditions. That's a great shot. Straight down the ground. Is it over the top? It is. The confirmation comes from Tanveer Ahmed. And that's 6 number 2 from Mahidul Islam Onkon.
Beautiful looking shot. Just stand and deliver. Over the top of the bowler's head. And he got all of it. Seeing that mid-on is inside the circle. Beautifully bowled. Great comeback by Lennox. Unlucky that the wicketkeeper spilt it. I wonder if there was an edge there as well.
Listen, boy.
He's completely bamboozled seeing that. And that was almost a Jaffa. Pitched in line, steep bounce.
Again, there is a fielder there. Goes over his head. Onkon gets another maximum. His third 6 of the innings.
Good, lads.
Well, that was
I'll be with
a
Foxy.
wrist of steel from Mahidul Onkon. He used his feet, came down the pitch, and just thumped it over long on, and made the fielder a spectator who just watched it sail over his head for a 6. We were criticizing seeing Chauhan to get down on so many occasions since he's a tall guy. This can be difficult for him to face the spinners who can keep the ball really low.
Oh!
Chauhan just gets it through the cap. Will it reach the fence? No, once again, great piece of work from the fielder. The fielding has been exemplary for New Zealand Day, and all the fielders were so committed for the sake of their team.
Fucking serious? Crash down. Yeah, there we go.
Slightly shorter, Chauhan just backed away and played it nicely through the cap. Abbas was the fielder. He plays it beautifully, and that's the victory for Bangladesh A. They go on to beat New Zealand A in the first ODI of New Zealand A tour of Bangladesh. Handshakes everywhere, but it's been a collective team effort from the Bangladesh A boys. All the players did really well, and that was enough to beat New Zealand A, the visitors, by 7 wickets. Courtesy to Khalid Ahmed, Shariful Islam for the great start, and the batters just did their job, what they were needed to do. Good finishing touch by the skipper, Nurul Hassan Chauhan as well. Just hit a boundary and finish things off in style. Good knock from Mahidul Onkon too. 40 runs. And here's the star performer Khalid. This is what has transpired in the final delivery of the game. It was short and Chauhan just bangs it away for a boundary to complete the game and finish it off in some fashion. A happy skipper should be smiling. And the visitors, they didn't have a very bright outing. Defeat in the first game, but they are such a quality side, and certainly they will come up with some good performance in the upcoming matches. The Bangladesh A, they are the winner of this very game. The match summary: Bangladesh won by 7 wickets and leading the series by 1-0. And the next match will take place day after tomorrow at the same time, the same ground. We're inviting everyone.
For more updates, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click on the bell icon. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Download T Sports app to enjoy exciting games and highlights. Visit tsports.com.